What it do, Big Blue? How we doing tonight? Huh?
We're doing.
I know
We're doing.
I'm doing shitty. Obviously, I'm covering my face because I don't even really want to know. I don't know if I want y'all to know that I'm a Kentucky fan, even though it is the state of Kentucky report. That could mean a million different things. Not that I'm a Kentucky fan. It's the brown bag era.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
It's rough. It's rough. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, man.
They left their heart, their their mind, their soul. They left everything in Lexington. They didn't make the trip. They didn't make the trip. I don't get it, man. Like, I don't understand how inconsistent you can be to that regard. You know, like you 3 straight games of like coming back in the second half and looking like killers, and then you just don't play at all in the game
Get
against
to
Spain.
bed.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all. Well, I got the point out of the way.
I mean, let me ask you this question, right? You take 60 shots in a game, right? And we can do quick math. 20 out of 60 is a third, right? That's 33%. That's essentially what they shot. They shot 19 of 59. You're not going to win any games. I don't care how good of a defense you play or anything. You're not going to win any games if you shoot that bad. And that's been not during this 5-game winning streak, but that's been the MO of this team all year. Just streaky shooting and bad shooting. They go stretches at a time where they just can't make a damn shot. And this is the problem. And it's like I don't understand the fluidity of the team. You know what I mean? Like they get out of rhythm and then they can't get into a rhythm. Like that's it. Once they get out of a rhythm, it's like they're done. They don't do anything. They stand around flat-footed. They don't play defense, and it's just it takes it out. And there was no spark. So during the 5-game winning streak, Jasper came off the bench. It was giving them a spark. They didn't have anything. They didn't have any spark. And look, not gonna talk bad about Noah, but like it's bad when Noah gets like 18 minutes. And we were talking on the live stream.
Yes.
You know what I mean? To different shades, of blue. Shout out to him, by the way. That was awesome to have him join the live stream. I mean, if Noah's getting 18 minutes, then either you're getting blown out or you're blowing someone out. And this happened to be the first one. We were getting blown out.
It was so embarrassing. The only reason I kept watching, honestly, was because of you, because we was on live.
I'm right there with you.
Like, if we wouldn't have been on live, I don't think either one of us would have finished the game, honestly.
Hell no. Hell no.
I really feel like there was no, and I'm not just saying that because, no, I would not have finished the game. I would have turned it off. I'd have went to bed because we ended up, probably going to bed probably around the same time. I'd say I went to bed at 11:30. I'd say you was right there with me, and not with me, but you know what I meant on that one. That sounded a little weird.
Hey, we're not that depressed over here. You know what I mean? Not that there's anything wrong with that. Look, you do what you do. Like, it's 2026. You know what I mean? Like, we got to have an open mind about it. You do what you do. We just don't do that. Plus, it'd be kind of physically impossible since we're like 8 states away. But,
Okay. All right. Okay. So
theoretically and metaphorically, yeah.
In Kentucky, you went to bed at 11:30 in your home.
Yes. Up here in Pennsylvania, in Pennsylvania, as people call it.
I like that. And I wouldn't have stayed up that late. I wouldn't have stayed up that late if we wasn't on live. And that says a lot. It says a lot because me and you are both pretty big fans that love to watch basketball games. And to say that we wouldn't have finished a game because if we wasn't talking to each other, that's bad. That's really bad. And hence why I did the brown paper bag video on our socials. I mean, it's embarrassing. I can't argue with nobody about, we're good. That 5-game winning streak, we're back. No, you can't do that. Yeah, Vandy's a great team and all. I don't even know about great. They're good. They're good, but not 30 points. Not 30 points good.
No, they're solid. They're a solid team. Don't get me wrong. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think the disheartening thing for me, and look, I know we're gonna get some flack, like we've been getting flack, like, oh, we're not real fans because you'll turn it off, you talk shit on your team. Look, it's not that
Yep.
we talk shit on the team. We would have turned it off, and we just came through a 5-game winning streak where we had tons of second half comebacks, right? So like,
Yep.
you got a feeling, and we know this team pretty well at this point, even though it's a different team. It seems like every goddamn week and every game, but there was just no heart, no nothing. Nothing gave you any type of spark. Even Pope looked like he was just out of it on the sideline. Like, if you're down by like 25 points like that, get ejected. Throw a clipboard at
Something.
the ref, like get ejected somehow and show some life in some way. It just, nobody showed any life. And look, the highlight of how shitty the game was, and you and I
Oh
both
God.
were like, what the hell was that?
Oh God.
Was Moreno and Owe with the
Ugh.
inbound play where Moreno inbounds at the Owe and Owe just walks right back out of bounds and passes it right back to him. Like, what did he think he was doing? And this is probably, and look, we'll get into the roster construction and the money, but like, he's probably our highest paid player on the team, being the
Yep.
SEC preseason player of the year, right? So how do you make that mistake? How do you make that
How?
mistake?
And
Like, your
let's
head's not in the game.
let's not even put money into it. Let's not even put money, a returning player, SEC. Let's just go off the fact you've been a college athlete for 4 years. You're a senior. You're a senior, and you just made that mistake with a freshman looking at you after you made the mistake with his hands out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you like? That right there is ridiculous. And I rewatched the video before the podcast, actually, before we started recording, and I noticed something different. Me and Mom, we know after Owe passes it back into Marino, and Marino looks at him with his hands up, Owe just trots in. There is no like hit on the head. There is no like shit. There's no body language of remorse or oh shit, I made a mistake. There is just go on. I don't know, man.
And let me ask you this, like, if and put yourself in Pope's shoes, because I know what I would have done. So I want to ask you what you would have done if one of your players does that. I don't care who it is, right? I don't care if it's Michael goddamn Jordan. I'm immediately calling a timeout and I'm taking him out of the game.
Absolutely.
Immediately calling a timeout. And for that regard, like, I know Moreno, technically he did what he was supposed to do and passed it in bounds, but like, I probably would have taken him out too, just to prove a point, right? Take them both out of the game because the communication clearly wasn't there. Like, there wasn't clear communication.
No, there was no
But yeah,
talking between either.
no, and I think you had, and that's why I lost a little respect for Pope in that regard, because he didn't do anything about it. It didn't even seem like he talked to OA about it in any capacity
Nope.
at any point in the rest of the game. So, that's bothersome to me, and
It sums
it's
it
almost
up.
like, did he lose the locker room? Did he ever have the locker room this year with this ragtag team? I don't know.
Right?
And that's where we're at right now.
It's almost like he didn't have the locker room and he just paid the guys, and he gives this bullshit game after game after game when we get our asses kicked, these bullshit excuses of, well, actually I got it right here written down. He got asked about practice. This was his quote. I'm going to have a different format to practice than we ever have before, just because we're trying to address our current needs right now. You haven't tried everything. You're not trying different shit at the other times we lost. Now you're trying it. Now is the time you want to try different things right now. You haven't tried to address this before today. Like, this ain't the first. I could understand if this was our first blowout loss. I could get it. All right. Maybe we need to tweak some things. This ain't our first, man. This ain't our first.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, you should be trying something different every practice at this point.
Right.
Every practice.
Well, and that's the thing, right? So like he's playing it up pretty good with the whole, like I haven't had a consistent lineup for X amount of games and this and that. He's playing it up pretty good. Like he's using it to his advantage when he's doing these media interviews and things like
Yep.
that. So I'll give him credit. He's at least whoever his PR guy is giving him good information to say. At the same time, we talked about this till we're blue in the face, no
Yep.
pun intended with Big Blue Nation, right? So at what
We
point
need answers.
we need like I haven't been able to find it, and I don't know if you have, and I don't know if Austin has, like with the other pod, but like I haven't found a full breakdown, like a roster breakdown of each player and what their NIL deal is. I haven't found that. So
I haven't.
I know some of these guys got like a 2-year deal and things like that. So like the Jasper's deal is like close to $2 million, but I think he signed a 2-year deal, so I think he's with Kentucky next year no matter what. And according to Jasper's dad, that wasn't he didn't go to Kentucky because of the money. He was getting higher offers from other schools. He went to Kentucky because it was Kentucky, which look, I get it. Your dad played there, so of course you're going to say that. So it is what it is,
Yeah.
right? But like I want to see, and this is where the NIL gets gray, right? Like they don't have to show you that. Like I could pull up any NFL team right now and I could see every single player on the roster and what their salary is.
Yes.
But I can't do
Yes.
that in college. Why? Why?
Yep.
You should be able to do the same thing, right? Especially if you're publicly going out there saying Kentucky's roster is a $22 million roster. Well, break it
Show me
down,
how.
goddammit. Break it
Yeah.
down
Show
and
me
let me
how.
see it. I want to
Yep.
know where we're spending that money, right? I want an audit. I'm saying it right
Yes.
now. I want to start a petition. Let's audit this shit. Let's audit the NIL deals with Kentucky basketball. And it should be public knowledge across all of college sports, because
That's what
you
I
have
was going to
no
say. Every
problem.
team.
Yeah, you have no problem telling everybody that Arch Manning in football made 5.6 million on NIL. But
Yep.
what about the rest of Texas's football roster? Tell us
Yep.
everybody, right? So like then everybody on the team can see the same thing too and be like, well, this son of a bitch is making 5 million and I'm blocking for him and I'm getting like 20 grand. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like that's what you need to do, because then the players will hold each other accountable and it may help the coaches in that regard.
Yep. I agree. I agree. I say let's do it. I don't know how to start a petition, but I'm sure we could Google it and figure it out. I don't see why not.
Absolutely. You can't Google their goddamn roster and what they make, but I'm sure you can
No,
Google how to start a petition.
I like that actually. I have not thought it. I really like that because you're right, and we have to disclose our expenses and what we make when government ask or whatever.
Yep.
Obviously, when
Yep.
you know what I mean, like they're not
Yep.
government, but it's the same regards. Like we should be able to be like, hey, let's see what Yelovich made. What did you pay for him to come
Correct.
over here? Plus, what did you pay him to play? Because you
Right.
had to pay him something to get him over here, and then you
Absolutely.
had
There
to
was a
pay him to
bonus,
play.
signing bonus.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I want to see it all. I want to see it all, and I
And
want to
that should
see
be.
if. Oh, go ahead.
Well, these guys are adults. I know they're student athletes, but they're adults, right? So like that shit should be public knowledge. And if you're
Yep.
spending that type of money, they're semi-pro at this point, in my
Yep.
opinion. And that's, look, if we're going back and recruiting G League guys, they're treating it like they're European players, right? That's how they're treating it. So you can pull up their rosters and see how much money they make. You should be able to do the same thing with college athletes at this point. Let's just call a spade and do it.
Yep.
Like that's the way that they need to do it. This is what happens when you put the cart before the horse, so to speak, and hey, we got to get NIL in. We got to pay these athletes. We got to pay these athletes, or we're going to have this big issue on our hands. And then we're like, oh shit, we don't have any rules around this, so we're just going to fly by the seat of our pants. You can't do that with this many student athletes and this much money at stake. You know what I mean? You can't do it.
And especially when you have Bediako coming back. What'd you give him to come back? Like, I want to see that as well, because he's got to be getting a G League contract money somehow, and that should be illegal too. If there's traces of NBA money, I don't care if it's the G League, whatever. If there is NBA money hitting your account,
Yep.
again, you should not be able to come to college and get NIL money.
Yeah.
And if you do, it should be split amongst the team at that point. You're already getting money from somewhere else. You shouldn't be able to get a deal here.
Yep.
Well, you should be able to play, but that's here or there. That's a whole different conversation. But I think you're absolutely right on that. I think that's actually a really, really good idea. And I think we could probably get a lot of people behind it, especially a lot of the podcasters that we know with the Big Blue Nation.
Yeah.
Austin. Guarantee you he would be on board. Unfiltered or shit. Different shades of blue. Guarantee you
Yep.
he would be on board.
Yep.
Guarantee you anybody we put and we have conversated with in the podcast Big Blue Nation world on TikTok would be totally behind it.
And absolutely. And look, if you're if you signed a quote unquote NIL deal with a college, you should have no fear of anybody seeing what that is, right? Because if you have aspirations on becoming a professional athlete anyway, the same criticism and the same pressure that's on you when you get to the pros, you might as well be prepared for it when you get there. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So like if you're worried about a fan going to Rupp Arena going, "We paid you $1 million for this shit performance," okay, you're going to have to deal with that when you make it to the NBA and deal with somebody in Philadelphia going, "We're paying you $5 million for that shit performance." Like, it's only going to get worse. But the bottom line is your bank account is going to get bigger. So it's going to make it
Yep.
easier to deal with. So, like, you're going to have to deal with it at some point. You're either going to crack under pressure or you're going to perform. So I think we're doing an injustice by, and look, I don't want to make it seem like I just looked at Kentucky. I looked for any of the top teams' rosters right now. And the only people, like, I tried to pull up BYU. Who do you think I saw from BYU? Of
AJ.
course,
Yep.
AJ. The rest of the team, you don't know what they make. There's no clear identification, and like, there's so many different things. Even looking at Kentucky, like the JQ NIL deal, I saw 3 million, I saw 2.2, I saw 1.8. There's like so many different things out there that you have no idea what the true number is. You just know that he was the highest paid guy on Kentucky, right?
Yep.
That's what you hear. But I don't buy that. I think Owe was. I think Owe, with all his types of deals that he got for coming back, I'm pretty sure Owe is our highest paid guy.
Absolutely.
But we have no way of knowing.
I agree.
And that's where I'm at with it. I think, especially in Kentucky, I think Big Blue Nation deserves to know the roster breakdown and how much money each guy is making, so we can, not so much like, oh, we're going to hold these people accountable, but like, so we have an understanding, so we have expectations, realistic expectations going into next year. Because I can tell you one thing, the money's not going up next year. 22
No.
million is as high as it's going to go, right? So it's all about the revenue sharing with the NIL deal across the university. So I think right now Kentucky basketball is getting like 35 or 40% of the revenue share for Kentucky sports in NIL of the 20 million that they're allowed to get. So that's like close to 7 million that they got from their revenue sharing that they put towards Kentucky basketball. The other 13 or 15 million came from donors. Think about that. We got 15 million in sponsorships from donors to pay for our NIL deal. And Florida basketball last year, and then this year, $10 million is their full NIL round. They'll whoop our ass. They're going to whoop our ass this year when we play them.
They're
They're
going
going
to
to
kick our ass.
absolutely dominate us. And their roster is making half the amount of money as ours is. I bet you our
Look at
players that
Vandy.
are injured, that's what Vandy is making less than Lowe and JQ combined.
Yeah. And
Whoop their ass.
where's
Whoop
it
their
at?
ass.
Where's it's on the other paper I have up there. When I made that video on the brown paper bag arrow, I was looking up Vandy stuff, and the forward for Vandy said, "You guys realize that having an expensive roster doesn't always mean you're going to have a better roster. I think we're
Correct.
better than them any day of the week."
I
He
agree
said
with
that
him.
in SEC media days in October.
Yeah, I agree with him.
It's crazy. He could see it. And maybe we was blind because we're Kentucky fans. Pope hyped us up. Maybe he's just a good talker. Obviously not a good recruiter, but maybe he's a good talker to the fans. And he made us believe that this thing was going to be magic. And it's obviously less than magic now. But it's crazy that the forward on Vandy said that. And now look at the spot we're in because he's totally right. Totally right.
Yeah, and I mean, look, we can cry as much as we want about injuries. Every team deals with injuries, so it
Yep.
is what it is, right? But like and we talked about it before, like your sixth, seventh, and eighth guy off the bench, they're on the bench for a reason, right? So like they're
Yep.
not made to be your full-time starter, right? So like, in the NBA, you have the Sixth Man of the Year award, right? Like that's the guy that wins. He's the best guy coming off the bench. He's also not going to win the MVP. He's going to win one or the other. You know what I mean? If he was that good enough to win MVP, he wouldn't be the sixth man. He'd be starting. So
Yep.
that's what I'm saying with this roster. When your starters go down and then you have to start the guys that were slated to be on the bench, you're going to lose some quality there. And like when we played against Purdue and in that exhibition, we didn't have JQ, but we played, and I think who else were we at?
Kid Eskimo.
I think Cam was out. It was either Cam
Maybe.
or Jasper. I can't remember, but we were down like two players, and they still played great, right? Spread the ball, played defense, did everything, and then it's been kind of downhill ever since then with consistency, you know. And I think that's what's so frustrating from our standpoint is the fact that like we know the potential when they're all healthy and they're all playing the right way,
Yeah.
and they're just not
Absolutely.
achieving it. You know, they're
No.
underachieving, which is the problem.
And it's like they don't care to achieve it. It's like they know something that we don't know. Like they know that they're already getting drafted, so they don't have to prove shit at this point, which is insane to me. But that's how when I watch them play, that's how I think they're playing. Like we're getting drafted anyways. Who really gives a shit if we win at this point? We done threw our season away. We've done lost him. Oh, well, I'm getting drafted. Let me get this money.
Well, that's the
That's what I
thing.
think
They
they
don't.
feel.
I don't even know if they worry about getting drafted. They're just like, I'm still getting that check every Thursday. It don't matter. It
Yeah,
don't matter. You know, and that's the problem, right? And look, here's my hot take, right? I
here it
know
is.
we're here's my hot take for the week, right? And this is probably going to be controversial, but I gotta say it. I gotta get it off my chest. Look, we won a national championship in 2012, right?
Hmm.
That was number eight, and we should have won in 2015 with the 38-1 team. They should have completed that. They should have finished 40-0. Should have, would have, could have, right? At some point, as Kentucky basketball fans, we have to be realistic with ourselves and understand that in the last 13 years, this team has underachieved from Kentucky basketball expectations standards. Like from
Absolutely.
Kentucky basketball standards, we're not like in the last 13 years, we're not a blue blood. We're a blue blood by name and by history, but we're not a blue blood. We haven't played like a blue blood at
No,
all. At all,
and,
right?
and a blue blood by draft picks and recruits. That's it.
That's it. Yeah, by
That's it.
history and by name. That's it.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
absolutely it. Not by pedigree of what we've accomplished in the last 13 years, right? Um, and that's a problem. And I think, you know, that's where we have to be realistic as fans and really put it in that perspective and go, look, our team sucks right now. Like we're not, you know, and look, I hate to say it like this, but you live it. Kentucky football is what Kentucky basketball is turning into right now, right?
Yes.
Where we have high hopes coming into the season, and then like a month in, we're like, ah, shit, here we go, right? It's the same thing over and over again. Then there's flashes, right? We had a good game. There's a flash there. We took Alabama to the end of the fourth quarter, or we took them to overtime. So this team's there. Ah, shit. Now we just got blown out by South Carolina at home. You know, like one of those things. So that's what this basketball team is turning into, and I think, you know, we also have to be realistic with the whole we have to get players that want to play for Kentucky because of it being Kentucky because we're not Kentucky, right? We're not Patino's Kentucky. Like, we're not. We're not the first 5 years of Cal being in Kentucky. We're not anymore. Like, that's not what this is. And look, Duke, North Carolina, they're not selling recruits on Coach K and Dean Smith. They're not. Kansas is not selling recruits on Roy Williams, right? They're not. Those coaches are not there. They're not selling them on that. They're selling them on current success and what they're doing now. And that's why we can't get a goddamn recruit, because we don't have any success to point to. We have nothing. Look,
Nothing. A
and you
Sweet
could say,
16.
right, great, we made a Sweet 16. That's not Kentucky
Yeah,
standard.
exactly. No, hell
Gonzaga's
no.
Gonzaga's done it for 20 years straight. They made a Sweet 16. 20 years straight, basically, they made a Sweet 16. They never get knocked out in the first round. Ever. Ever. It's probably one of the surest bets that you can bet every March Madness is that Gonzaga's going to win their first round game. Because for 20
Yep.
years straight, they have. And you can't do that with Kentucky. Even when we're a 2 seed, you're like, oh, shit, we might lose. And
Yep.
while we're on
Which
that
is
topic,
bullshit.
there's no way in hell I would have, if I was the coach, there's no way we would have lost to Oakland. There's no way we would have lost to Oakland and goddamn science teacher boy. He looked like a damn science teacher shooting those
Yeah.
threes. You twist his ankle. You take his leg out. Simple as that.
Something.
Sweep the leg. Sweep the leg. Karate Kid style. Sweep the leg. That's what you got to do. You're not going to
I
let
don't
that
even
guy
know
beat
who.
you.
No, I don't even know who's on the bench. I done forgot. I tried to erase that team out of my memory or that year. Who was on the. Anyways, put a bench player in. Go. Like you said. Go. He's hit him. Go. Something. Something.
He's going to catch an elbow. He's going to
Something.
catch an elbow. He's going to catch an
Something.
elbow.
Throw him out
Absolutely.
of his rhythm. Hit him. Bloody is no anything to throw him out of his. Absolutely. I agree 110% with you.
Right.
110%.
But
Absolutely.
I think it's time that, and it sucks that it's on the heels of such a bad loss like that, but like I think it's time for us to just kind of face the facts and really understand that this team is not the team that we grew up with. It's not the team that I think we are envious of those teams, and I think we wish that this team, because of the potential, could be like those teams. And then we get gaslit last year with a Sweet 16 run in Pope's first year. We're like, man, we're there. We're back. We're back.
We're back.
This is Kentucky basketball. We're back to the golden age. And then they do some shit like Tuesday night, and we're like, oh, here we go. Here we go. This is why we're not back. And look, everybody talks about the comparison between Pope and Billy G. You and I have talked about it numerous times. We talked about it on the live stream. There's one thing Billy G's teams always had, and they had heart. They didn't have the best talent. They did not have the most talented rosters at all, but they never gave up. They had the heart. They had the heart. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
They had
I
dogs.
correct. And who can you look at on this team outside of Chandler that gives 110% every single play?
You
I
can't.
can't name one. I
No.
can't name one.
Besides Chandler, and I'm giving Chandler his flowers right now for being the glue for right now. When we need something big, Chandler goes out and does it. And it's like nobody praises him for it. Everybody is, Owe did this. Look at Owe. He's the most. Chandler. Chandler's what's holding this together. And we've talked about it. Chandler is the one making the big plays every time. Every time.
Yep.
And
Yep.
imagine if we didn't have Chandler.
Oh,
Imagine.
dude. I coach baseball, right? I coach my son's baseball team and his travel team, and I'm not the head coach for travel. I'm like the head assistant, basically the main assistant, and I'm the guy that
Yeah.
yells at everybody, right? I'm the guy that like I make them run, I make them, like if you miss this thing or you miss the throw, 5 push-ups right now. Like if you're not talking, 5 push-ups. This team would probably be so jacked at this point because the no communication throughout the game bothers me beyond belief.
We've
Beyond
talked about
belief.
that.
I
We talk
can't
about that.
stand and when they play a game like that and they're flat footed, not moving on defense, and nobody's talking, like, look, I know on TV you can't always hear that they're talking, but even when you watch other teams and you watch NBA, you're seeing points, you're seeing this, you're seeing like you see their heads moving, like arms flailing, like there's talking, right? There's communication. They're not just doing that shit to like scare the other team. They're actually having a conversation as teammates. You don't see that. You didn't see that Tuesday. You barely see it during the 5-game win streak. You didn't see it because they were actually shooting. They were making shots. Like it's
Yep.
a lot different, and you stay in the game mentally when you're making shots. I get it, but like the communication piece and the lack of communication is what kills me, man. It absolutely
And
kills me, and that starts with Pope.
yes. And another thing that kills me when we run the play, same play every single time, or lack of plays. It's the same thing every single time. You pass it to Marino. He stands there. He waits for somebody to come around the key, picks it, boom, hands it back. We do not work it in. We do not work it in when we're down. It is like the only thing we think about is three, 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 three.
And we're a
And then we
horrible
get in a bigger
shooting
hole.
team. A
Yes.
horrible shooting team.
Yes. And I don't know why nobody's told them that. I don't know if them assistant coaches and Pope is like, you guys can shoot. You go out there and shoot. You guys can
Yeah,
make it.
right. Like, so like, can I ask when he says about like we'll have to look at the game tape and break it down? Like, do they look at the goddamn game tape and break it
Yeah.
down? Because if you did, you would know that you can't shoot the ball. You would know. You would see it if you broke down the film. Like, if I'm looking at that game against Vandy, I'm looking at it going, damn, we can't shoot the goddamn ball. We suck.
We
Like
can't shoot worth the shit.
we shot 32%. You can't sit there that next practice and go, guys, great shooting game. Like you can't. You got to be honest about it and just be like, guys, we suck. And here's the thing: you miss that many shots. 19 of 59. You missed 40 shots. Guess how many offensive rebounds they had?
Oh, God.
Guess how many offensive rebounds they had?
What was it, 18? No.
I didn't even think it was that many. I didn't
Maybe
even think it
it's,
was that
maybe,
many. I'm gonna
hold
pull
on.
it up quick.
Maybe it's 13, 12 or 13. I think it was. Maybe.
Let's see.
12
Offensive
or,
rebounds. 13.
yeah.
13. So you miss 40 shots and you only give yourself a second chance 13 times. 13.
Because nobody chases the ball. We've talked about that all year.
They stand there
Nobody
and look.
goes after the ball.
And
Even
I
after a
didn't.
free throw, and we miss our free throws. We miss more
Too
free throws than
much.
I've ever seen in my life, and they stand at the free throw line and watch it bounce.
Yep.
Not that you
Yep.
just go backwards. You know, it ain't like they're moving backwards to stop a fast break or left or right to stop. They stand and watch it bounce. I don't understand it. I
Yep.
don't. I don't.
Yep.
And
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
this
I
kind of brings it into what I want to say about, well, yeah, I guess it kind of ties it in because my hot take is coming up, and it is: would we have more offensive rebounds if JQ was there? I don't think so because at
probably
this
not.
point, I think he's overhyped. I think he's overhyped because if he wasn't overhyped and he was what everybody says he is and the special player he is and blah 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 blah, he wouldn't let this swelling keep him on the bench. And with the swelling being said, I just want to read what Pope said about because it burnt my ass. I wrote it before we got on, and my God, oh my God, still dealing with a little bit of swelling in his knees. So we can make sure we get to a great kickoff point. And I wish I could predict how that's going to work right now. He is on full shutdown in terms of his on court work. We're doing everything we can with the performance team. One of the things in the immediate moment challenge, one of the things in the immediate moment challenge, whatever, is every day he misses, he loses some of the strength they worked so hard to develop with the knee protectant strength. And so it's a little bit of a complicated bag, I know, but his health long term is going to be excellent. Just in the immediate future, we're trying to figure that out now. AKA, I'm letting him sit on the bench and milk it so that way when pro day comes, he'll be 100% healthy and he'll be able to get drafted and we won't see him again. And he has a pocket full of money to set him up on the first day of the NBA.
Yep. Yep. 100%. That's exactly
And I'm
what I
sorry I
took
took
out of
a
it.
completely left turn on what you were saying, but I just kept looking at it and I wanted to get it off my chest so bad.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Like it's Shaden Sharp 2.0. And
hmm
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. What
Well, and here's the
happened to this
problem.
dude?
This is this is setting a bad precedent, right? Because now,
Yes.
like, if he wanted to, like, correct OA, or if he wanted to correct Aberdeen, like, how can you do that now? Because now you've already made a mockery of it, because you got JQ just sitting there, and you're pretty much telling everybody, like, well, his long term health, aka his NBA health, is going to be great, but his short term health, aka his Kentucky health, is what's in question right now. Like, that's bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, that does nothing for us. And look, I wish nothing but success for any Kentucky basketball player once they make the NBA. And Topher, you'll appreciate this, except for Karl Anthony Towns right now, because he's on the Knicks, so he can eat a bag of dicks for all I care right now. But when he was on the Wolves, I loved him. But but now that he's on the Knicks, yeah, he can eat a bag of dicks. That's the way I feel about it. Once he gets traded from the Knicks, probably midseason, and hopefully he's not getting traded to Milwaukee for Giannis. Um,
Oh God.
but look, if he does, he does. It is what it is. But like, I root for Kentucky basketball players in the NBA. Having said that, that doesn't do anything for me right now as a Kentucky basketball fan. Like, I hope JQ has a 15-year career in the NBA. I don't care about that right now. I care about this Kentucky season and this Kentucky team, and he's hurting the team right now by not playing. Simple as
Yep.
that.
In more ways than not just playing, like you just said. He's hurting it in more ways than just not being on the court. Because like you just literally, like you just said, you can't correct nobody because all they got
No.
to do is be like, all they got to do is, take a drink of a drink. Oh, shit. I chipped my
Yeah.
tooth.
Yep.
I got to sit out, coach.
Yep.
I
I
can't
got
play.
tooth
I'm
pain.
hurting.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got tooth pain.
And
It's
maybe
unreal.
that's another thing that should be in the petition. If a player is hurt, we, you know, why can't that be released like NFL and things where it's injury report of what is actually going on, not just knee swelling. Tell us what's up. Tell us what's going on. And I think I speak for all of Big Blue Nation. Everybody wants answers at this point instead of this
Yeah.
bullshit swelling every week. Every week, it's swelling, it's swelling, it's swelling. That's bullshit. It's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
There is no
Mm-hmm.
swelling. There is no swelling. Uh,
Yeah.
I call it. There's no swelling.
I
And
just
if it is, it's playable.
again, I think there should be, with these NIL deals, should be there should be base salaries and then incentive based deals, right? So it should be lucrative based on performance. That's the way I see it. If you get X amount of money if your team does this, no different than how the NFL is and everything else. If you win if you make SEC all first team, you get an X amount of bonus. If you make all American first team, you get X amount of bonus. If your team wins the SEC championship, you get X amount of bonus. If you make it to the Final Four, you get this. You win the national championship, you get this. That way, there's an incentive to play, right?
Yep.
That's part of that's how the NIL should work, instead of the incentive being, I'm going to give you $5 million to come play. That shouldn't be what it is. I'm going to give you $1 million to come play with a chance to make $5 million if you do X, Y, and Z for the betterment of the team. Simple as that. And as Kentucky, you have deep enough pockets, you should be able to make those deals. Like, look, my GM for the Eagles, Howie Roseman, can probably come in and whip that shit around real quick and be like, look, we got the best roster and the best players because they're all on minimum deals right now. But if we win a national championship, they're all going to get paid. They're all going to get
Yep.
paid. That way, it's incentive based for everybody, and everybody wins at that point, because the better you do, the better the team does, the better your pockets do. Simple as that. And that's the way they need to treat this, like a goddamn business, because right now, man, it's just out of control for everybody. And I know
Everybody.
we're Kentucky fans, and we're in our own little bubble right now. But I bet you there's Kansas fans, there's probably UConn fans, there's Duke fans, there's probably fans of every team discussing this in the same exact way, saying this shit's out of control. It's absolutely out of
Yes.
control.
I mean, College Game Day is saying it's out of control. When you listen to them on Saturdays and they talk, it's out of control. There needs to be something done. It's everybody. And it's like the NCAA just doesn't hear them. And they release little statements here and there about, oh, well, we need Congress to step in. We need this to step in. Just do something.
Yep.
Do something. Whatever
Yep.
is in your realm of power, do it. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Even if it's a shitty rule and it pisses everybody off, do it.
That means that it's
Do
a good
it.
rule, right? Like
Yeah.
if it's a rule that pisses everybody off, that means it's a good one.
Yep.
Nobody gets pissed off
And
at the bad rules that they can break. They only get pissed off at the rules that shit that affects everybody, and I can't break that rule. You know,
yep.
they're the ones that they get pissed off about. And look, I'll throw this out to you and get your take on it because this is where I was going with it. Right, college football national championship, Indiana won it with a bunch of 3-star and 4-star players. They didn't have the highest NIL deal. I guarantee you, though, because you know as well as I do the way college football works, for every bowl win, the school gets X amount of money. If they win a national championship, the media, like the revenue sharing and all that, school gets X amount of money. You don't think the football program got a bigger cut of that than just going to the university? That wasn't paying for goddamn books. That's paying for that
No,
roster. That's exactly what that was
absolutely.
paying for. Again, that was probably part of the deal to get all those players there. We win a national championship, we win the Big Ten, we do this. That's extra money in everybody's pocket.
Yep.
Guaranteed.
Yep.
And that's the way that this needs to be structured. Look, and if two guys like us, I'm not saying that I'm dumb and I'm not saying that you're not smart, but we're not probably the most brilliant people in the face of the earth. But if we can figure
I
this
know I'm
out,
not.
and if we're laying this out there, why don't we have smarter people, especially the people that are donating the money? Clearly, they're smarter than us because they got a shitload of money. Figure it out. Why can't they come up with this stuff and tell these guys that? Like, that's the way I would do it. That's the way I would structure it, and that's the way I would fix the NIL.
Say it louder for the people in the back. That's it. That is it. That is it. That is it. I don't understand. And I don't think it's going to change. I don't. I think this is going to be Kentucky basketball for the next, I don't know, 3 to 5. 3 to 5.
Mm. I don't
Yeah.
know. I hope not. I hope we're
I
wrong.
hope.
I
Yeah,
hope
I
we're
hope
wrong,
not.
but I believe you. I believe you. So I guess before we wrap this up, I guess do we want to preview the game Saturday? Do we even want to talk about Arkansas? Do we want to talk about the must-win game that they put us in now with our back against the wall? We said all week, and we said for the last few weeks actually when we broke down the schedule, we have to win at least one of these games. Well,
Yep.
when you lose the first one, now this is a must-win. You know what I mean? Like you kind of you didn't give yourself too much wiggle room there. Like you didn't even lose
Y-
like in a close game. You got your ass handed to
No,
you. So now,
you got
even
to.
if you win, yeah, you have to win. Like a win
You
is a
got
win
to.
at this point. Like I don't even care if it's a 1 point win in triple overtime. Like a win's a win, especially on the road down there. But that place is
You
gonna be
got to.
rocking, man. That place is gonna be
It's a
rocking.
whiteout.
Yep.
It's a whiteout. What did I write down? Ken Palm. They're already calling for what is it, 84-78, Arkansas win. And then Bart Torvik, I don't know who that is or what that is. KSR wrote it. They're giving them a higher chance of winning with 79 and with a score of 86-77. Obviously, I mean, who would pick us to win after the other night's game? I mean, as a Kentucky fan, I have to say we can win it. We can,
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
but who shows up?
Well, and that's the question, right? And like you were
Yeah,
reading off those scores, and I'm sitting there going, All right, 84-79, a 5-point loss. I mean that would be more of like what are we? This is Kentucky basketball. Like it's a loss. Like that wouldn't be a good loss either way. But like after getting blown out by 30, you're sitting there going, a 5-point loss wouldn't be that bad. Like that's the shit that this team is doing to us right now. We're sitting there going, well, 5-point loss would actually be pretty good. No, it's not a goddamn win. Like we need wins. Like that's what we need. And like I'm with you. What team is going to show up? What team is going to show
Is
up?
it going to be
Because if
a
it's yeah,
at with its tail between its legs?
dude,
You know what I mean?
I got a buddy of mine that he's an Eagles fan, but he's from Tennessee. Shout out to Justin from Tennessee. But he likes to say that he's people are more scared than a long tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what that team looked like on Tuesday. It looked like they were just a bunch of scared pricks that didn't want to be there. So we already know playing Arkansas on the road, regardless of if it was a whiteout or not, it's going to be a hostile environment because of the history there between Cal and Kentucky, right? So we already knew that going into it. Now you know it's a whiteout. You've had all week to prepare for this. You just got your asses handed to you. I would expect a Kentucky basketball team to come out firing and showing a lot of heart, a lot of hustle, and a lot of physicality. That's what I would expect to see.
You
Similar to what
have
we
to.
saw against St. John's, right? So you had the
Yes.
whole Pope, Patino, Kentucky Patino type thing. This is a similar situation. I know there's not the Pope Cal history, but it's the Cal Kentucky history. Like you got to come out there guns ablazing and just punch them in the mouth. That's what you have to do. You have to come out and look. If you want to do it physically, like literally, then do it literally too. I don't give a shit. But literally and
At this point, I
figuratively,
don't
you got to punch them in the mouth. You know what I mean? That's what you have to do. You have to punch them in the mouth.
take losing a player if I get to see one of them punch somebody in the mouth. At least they got heart. At least there's fight. I'll take it at this point. I will take it at this point. My gosh. I mean, throw Noah in there. Tell him to bow somebody.
Yeah,
Anybody. I
he
don't care.
he
Brandon
strikes me as the
Garrison,
type.
elbow somebody.
Yeah, I mean, he do something. He can't rebound. He can't shoot. He
Something.
can't do anything else. Just elbow
No.
somebody. But like Noah strikes me as a type that would like elbow somebody and go, "I'm sorry, sir. Is your face okay?" Like and apologize right
Yeah.
away. Like I don't
And
need
like
that
try to
shit.
kiss it or something. Yeah. Kiss
Yeah,
him on the
like
cheek
here,
or some shit.
Doc, come here. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'll buy you dinner after this too. Like get the hell out of here. 18 minutes against. Come on. If he's playing 18 minutes against Arkansas, we're screwed. We're screwed.
We're
We're
done.
absolutely screwed because we're
We're
not
done.
blowing them out. Let's just be real. We're not blowing them out.
No.
So it's a
No.
matter of do we get blown out or do we win a close game? Like that's
Yep.
basically what we're at right now. You know.
Yep. And with, winning, also read that, we do have 10 games left. And with that being said, as of now, four of them teams are ranked. Seven of those are quad one wins. The other ones are quad two. So I was thinking before that, and I'm going to get your opinion before we get out of here. With the seven quad one wins, right? You're going to at least need, at the very least, five of those wins, I feel like, to make the tournament at this point.
Yep.
I'd say
Yep.
5 out
I
of
would agree.
seven quad. Yeah, 5 out of 7. That's what you're going to have to end the season with to be able to make this tournament at this point because we've showed nothing. We've got maybe what, one or two. I don't even know how many we have right now, but I know it's not a lot. But with the 10 game, you got to. You got to.
Yeah, we got St. John's and Tennessee basically. They're the two
Yeah.
big ones. Um,
So you gotta
and that's
go 10 to 3 or 7-3 for the rest of the
this
year.
this game matters the most. If you win this
Yes.
game, this will go a long way into
Yes.
into your tournament hopes, right? Because then your key wins, St. John's, Tennessee, and Arkansas on the road. That's that's quality. That's quality. Then you got to sneak a Florida in there. You got to try to sneak a Florida in there. You got to try to sneak a. Do we play Bama again? I can't remember if we play Bama again. I know we play one of those teams again. I can't remember which
Let's
one
see.
it
I
is.
don't.
Who do we
Uh,
play twice? We play one of these guys twice.
Tennessee.
Tennessee, is that who we play twice?
We played Tennessee twice,
Sweeping
and we
Tennessee would be
played
good.
Vandy.
All right,
We
well,
play
there you go.
Vandy
We play
again.
Vandy at home, so we can sweep Tennessee and win against Vandy too. That'll help. Oh, we play Florida twice too.
Yep. Yep.
That's the last game of the regular season. We play them at home. So, whew, that could be
Yeah.
the decider. You know what I mean?
And the way Auburn's playing.
Auburn's tough. Yeah, honestly, it may come down to between Kentucky and Auburn to see who's that last SEC team that makes it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And that's scary.
Yeah, I
That's
mean, we
scary to
said at the
think.
beginning of the season, I think they need to have 18 to 19 wins. 20 wins will get them into the tournament.
Yes.
Because that would be 6 more wins than what they have now. So if they go 6-4 along that stretch, and you figure one of them is Florida, one of them is Vandy, and one of them is Arkansas, out of the 3 of those 6, that's 3 of them, you're in the tournament. You're in the tournament, right?
Absolutely. I agree. I agree.
But again, this is the shit that we shouldn't even have to talk about for being Kentucky.
No.
Like, as a Kentucky basketball
No.
team, we shouldn't have to talk about if they make the tournament. This is what pisses everybody off, you know?
And
The
that's what's
expectations are
sickening
high.
right now.
Yeah, and look, the expectations are high, and again, I'm gonna die on this hill. The expectations should be high given our pedigree as a basketball organization and our history. However, our expectations shouldn't be high based on our previous 5 years. Like, our previous 5 years have shit the bed. You know what I mean? Like, they haven't been good. So, we got to get it back to that point. And I think Pope has the right mind state. I think he's there. Shout out to Tyrese Maxey, who just hit the game-winning layup for the Sixers. UK alum, NBA All-Star. Just throwing that
What?
out there.
Did he
But
really just hit it like right this second? Like
yep,
just a second
yep.
ago?
With 1 second left on the clock. Yep.
Wow.
So, yep,
Wow.
yep. So they won by 2, 113, 111. Nice.
Nice. Hell
Nice.
yeah.
Shout out Maxey. But
That's a way to
that's
end it
like
right there. That's the way to end
that
a night
is
on a good night.
that is the way to end it, and that's what we need out of OA on Saturday. We need OA
Yes.
taking over
Yes.
like
Yes.
that.
Yes. Yes.
Stop. My last thing I'm going to say to this team: stop missing open goddamn layups. You missed at least 4 or 5 of them Tuesday, and that's been the MO all year. You drive the lane, you get an open layup, and you miss. This team probably has the most missed layups in the nation. It's not even close. It's not even
Nope.
close.
Not even.
Dumb. It's
Not
dumb.
even a little.
Absolutely dumb. No, it's dumb. You make too much money to miss an open goddamn layup.
Yep.
Give
I agree.
me a third of that money, and I'll make every layup you give me. Every layup. I'll make every single one of them.
Actually, I like that. I like that. I like that. Oh, and I guess maybe we could maybe we can end the podcast on taking something from this team. 1, 2, 3, touch money.
Yeah. Touch money. Bullshit.
Ridiculous.
So dumb. So dumb. 40 burger for
Ridiculous.
Tyrese Maxey, too. 40 burger. He dropped
Holy
40 on him.
shit.
Man.
Who
Wish he was still at
who
Kentucky.
did you say he played?
They played the Kings.
Who dropped?
So it's not like they.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not like they
and
played
Monk,
like a. Yeah. Yep.
right?
Yep.
Right? Okay.
Love it.
He still
Love
plays
it.
there, right?
He does. He does.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yep.
And on that note,
Yep.
we will see y'all, I'm sure, throughout the week, because I'm sure something stupid will happen by Saturday. And that means I'm going to
It
have
will.
to take a hot take. And that means K Money's going to have to make a hot take. And then we'll probably be pissed off all week. And then Saturday, if we get our asses kicked, you may never see me again. Who knows? With
I
that
didn't even
being
get to
said,
talk shit on Coach Cal. That's how shitty this team was. We didn't even get a chance to talk shit on Cal this week like we wanted to, because his team pissed us off so
we
bad.
didn't. We didn't, because you had plans. Last week, you already said.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
Sorry.
Go ahead and I guess get ready for the beep there, Topher. This team at this point. All right.
Kid Eskimo.
Win me back Saturday. Win me back Saturday. That's what you're going to have to do.
Love it.
With that being said, good night, Big Blue Nation. Let's get a win Saturday.
Okay.
Or I'm cutting my arm off.